though.
Oh, we're gonna react Andy here. Let me get
Yeah.
some music then. I'll just edit
Go
out that
ahead.
little moment in the video, but it's like,
Yeah.
Alright, so hold on, let me get some just space trance music going. Just some nothing epic, nothing epic. Bro. But seriously, range 80 to 75.
I think that's fine.
But the speed? You don't feel?
I don't feel it too much. I saw them moving slow, and I'm like, finally.
Oh. just make them worse against dogs, and then you'll be like, it'll be fine. Just nerf them against dogs. They have too much health and too much damage. You're still gonna build them. It just sucks more.
Yeah.
And then, okay, Ant 0.5 to 0.55.
That's such a tiny change. I don't even know what I think of that.
I disagree.
I like the buff. I like the fact that they buffed them at least.
I hard disagree, man. You have no idea how good it is now. Especially with Drifters and Grenadiers nerfed. Ants smoke Strikers. They smoke Sparks. And if the person doesn't micro with docks, they smoke docks. And Sparks, they can't even get one shot off when they're going into range of each other anymore. Like, you used to be able to take one shot and then get your shot off and then they'd kill you if you didn't dodge. But the new Ant fire rate is actually insane. It needs to be like 0.525. I'm not even joking. I tested it that way. I tested both and I like the 0.525. I'm telling you, man, they're Giga Chad now. Yo, maybe I should make like a tier list of all the changes, like going to tierlist.com. Be like Swamp Ass, A, B, C, D. Anyway, Drifters. Damage reduced 125 to 120, range reduced 150 to 110. Okay, damage, yay or nay?
I like the nerfs to Drifters. I think having them... I think one of the nerfs is fine. Like either nerfing the range a little bit or nerfing the damage a lot.
Okay. Yeah,
because I like them to have a niche role of like outranging some things. I can see why they did this. So, do they outrange turrets now?
Yeah, they outrange the double laser turret. Double laser turret's 110, and now they don't outrange them.
Oh, they don't outrange them now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine. Do they still outrange slammers or no?
Yeah, and this. Well, I don't remember if it's slammers. The issue with slammers, they didn't have the vision. I think it's like, no, they don't outrange slammers anymore. Slammers are 110. It was just the vision of slammers. You couldn't push with slammers into drifters.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, drifters were never good against slammers. It was just that there was like 50 drifters on the field before your first slammers came out. So.
Yeah, and they just get mauled because of the range.
Yeah. Because like 4 slammers would kill 100 ants, 100 dogs, 100 strikers, whatever, but they couldn't kill 100 drifters.
No.
That was the issue.
Yeah.
I agree with the damage reduction. Maybe it could even go more, but I don't agree with the range reduction. I seriously think tier 1.5 should be able to outrange structures, not just Grenadiers, but another unit that's anti-structure. Now, the damage is nice.
Are they even a tier 1.5 anymore? Because
yeah, their cost is still better, and they're still better overall, and they got to change to them. Like, I'll just jump down. We'll be react Andy to everything else, but we'll just jump down real quick. They changed the guard layer of a lot of units to make them feel better, like when you're attack moving. Because before, like drifters, they would like keep going forward.
Yeah.
When you attack move, but now they just like they stay at the maximum range, which actually makes them pretty good.
Oh, okay, that's good then.
Yeah, they actually pretty good. You don't have to like do constant line micros or anything like that. Don't have to babysit them.
Yeah.
And a lot of other changes. But yeah, back to. So I agree with the damage reduction. I don't agree with the range reduction. I think there are other nerfs that could go in place as well. Like they could get their like projectile speed reduced or their vision reduced. Like make them more vulnerable to docks and strikers. But like not ants. I think ants are drifters can't counter ants, and it's gonna be a problem. I'm okay with them countering ants. I just before they kind of countered everything. So you moan and spam. Leveler range 140 to 130. Yay or nay?
Where is it? Yay.
Yeah, I agree with that. At first, I actually didn't agree with it. I'm like, levelers are fine as is.
But that poor triple laser turret, you know?
Dude, no, I'm like, buff the laser turret, not the
Yeah,
leveler. But
that's
what
also
happened
true.
was I played other factions, Legion and Bugs, and I'm like, wait, the lever is Giga Chat against them. You can just nerf the range here, and it won't matter that much against other MLA, players. But it matters a lot against other factions. Like, so I'm actually for it. It doesn't change too much in the MLA versus MLA, in my opinion. But it changes a lot everywhere else.
I think it makes them like a little easier to deal with. I mean,
Yeah, true.
you still didn't go T2 tanks first, usually anyway, because of the Bluehawks just wrecking levelers.
Yeah.
But
well, we're coming up to the next
this
change where
way
you
you
want to
can-
go tier 2 first anyway. Because check out the Vanguards.
Yeah.
Range 30 to 50. Fire rate is doubled. Damage is halved, but it's the same DPS. Same exact
Yeah.
DPS. Oh.
I like the range buff. I love the fire rate buff. That's good.
Yeah.
The damage reduction, I'm not sure what the damage reduction is to them.
It's the same DPS.
Yeah, I know, but their damage even before was very unimpressive. Like
Really?
levelers, if I remember correctly, have better DPS for the metal. Although I could be wrong.
Let me check that, because I want to see. So Vanguard DPS was, well, 1,000. And Leveler was 600. Wait, 1,500 metal to 1,200 metal. To 800 metal, actually. Wow. Okay. So yeah, Levelers actually had, pound for pound, similar DPS to Vanguards. And Vanguards, you don't even have the same amount of uptime. Wow, actually, Levelers might need a damage nerf as well. They just kind of one-shot everything.
I would say
Even other tier 2.
maybe not so much of a damage nerf from Vanguards. Like maybe a little bit of one, like time to
I don't know.
1,500.
It causes less overkilling. You got to keep in mind more efficiency with its shots and the fact that it has increased range, so better uptime, less overkilling.
That's also true.
And their AoE is still, you can't deny their AoE is good. Like it clears lots of low trash units.
Yeah. I think for the tier 1 killing, it's very, very good right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I think
at least for bots.
I don't think the range is quite there yet. Like 50 is just a little bit too short. But it'll be scary if they come in range, and I think if they get into the middle of a base, it's a problem. Like those tier 1 P-gens are going down.
Yeah. I don't really like them being a utility tank, to be honest. I like them being like
big fat boy frontliner.
Yeah. It's called the Vanguard, right? So it should be a big fat boy frontliner.
Yeah. I mean, they have jamming. I'm okay with them having radar because they're in the front and they just see things for other units. But the jamming, I'm just like,
yeah, it makes them more of a utility unit. Like, you don't even want to put them in the front because of jamming.
Yeah, they are zoning, though. You do not want to get into a range of a Vanguard. So if a Vanguard pushes you, you do have to run. Like, you have to kite. And maybe there are situations where you cannot kite. So, who knows? Although that's mostly not the case, but yeah, whatever. Mostly, this is a yay. I would say, I'm actually worried about its DPS. I would actually reduce its DPS because of the AoE and the fire rate, but...
Yeah, if you forget... that is true. If you forget to manage your armies and they have Vanguards, even if you've got, like, really strong units there, I think Vanguards are just gonna clear it out.
Just
Like
melt.
really, you'll look back like 10 seconds later and it's just gone. You see this Vanguard kind of smiling at you.
All right, big boy changes. Vanguards were big
Manhattan.
boys, but these are the fat boys. Manhattans. Speed
Manhattans.
increased from 7 to 10. Turn speed increased from 45 to 60. Turn acceleration increased 15 to 30. They handle way better now. And they're fast.
Yay, yay, and yay.
Yo, we agree to that. Manhattan boss. Big boy. We like it.
Absolutely.
Alright, bots. Alright, looks like we got some nick changes here. Speed increased from 19 to 20. Acceleration reduced from 190 to 50. It should say 180, but that's okay. Nobody cares. The acceleration change was simply because old dogs felt bad. They felt jank, and now they feel bouncy. They feel good.
Yeah, I feel really good right now. I like the dogs.
Yeah, and speed range increase, yay or nay?
Speed, yes. I would have maybe even wanted to see a little more of a speed increase, but I think with the Stryker nerf and with the dog speed increase, I think this is fine. They're fast enough compared to other units so that they can raid pretty well, I think. Although we'll have to see how this pans out as the meta develops.
Yeah, I think the ants.
I think the acceleration, I'm pretty sure everyone in the community would say yay.
Yeah, it's basically fixing them. It's a fix more than a buff. Is that how I would say it? All right, spark range reduced from 70 to 65. Hallelujah or hallelujah?
Yes.
Agreed.
Yay.
Very yay. So took a year. Perfect. And they're still really strong units. It's just they're gonna get owned by ants now, but it's like it needed to happen. Grenadier. Okay, this one's an interesting one. This one's probably the first one that I actively hate now. Firing deviation increased from 1 to 1.5. Splash damage and splash radius removed. Its AoE's been removed.
I don't know about that. Maybe nerf AoE, but removing it, they're strictly a turret killer. As long as there's no other turret killers and these are just the best option, then I guess yay, but I don't know if they're really the best option against turrets either.
Yeah. Oh, well, what are the best options if there is another option? Because we don't have drifters anymore.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, you can do Inferno pushdowns, like add some Infernos and then push them down.
I guess Gren's. Yeah, I guess Gren's might be the best option too.
I don't like it because you just don't hit units anymore. And Grenadiers actually were good anti-tier 2, specifically levelers. Like, whereas the drifters countered slammers, Grenadiers countered levelers, and they were actually gonna pretty hard counter levelers here too, with the 10 range difference. But now that's completely gone. Like the splash damage and radius, I think it should have been reduced, but not removed. It just makes them too awkward. Like if you're gonna see a shot barely miss a unit, like it's gonna take no damage at all, like just running around 10 Grenadiers, I'm gonna feel bad, man. And Grenadiers are no longer firing grenades, like no longer AoE, like just pure anti-structure. And if you end up building Grenadiers to fight structures, you're going to be short actual fighting units to fight against other units, and the other person just gets to build regular army and beat you. Yeah, I'm very much against this change. I think they just killed the unit with this change. And I actually liked Grenadiers before, even though they were a bit spammy at certain times. They made you dodge things. And like you could flank Grenadiers as well. Alright. Next one. Stinger. Speed increased from 12 to 16. Yay or nay?
I say yay, and maybe even a little more of a speed increase.
Even more? Oh, okay.
Because, like, even if they're, like, faster than this, like, 18, 20 speed, people are still not going to make them a whole lot once you get to, like, mid-game. Because their firepower overall is just so bad.
Yeah, I don't like... I think it's like a change. Like, it's an improvement on the unit, but I don't like the direction. The Stinger is still like a crappier spinner. Like,
Yeah.
similar everything, just crappier. And there has been a lot of ideas in the community to really change the Stinger to be its own unique unit, and this felt like a really safe, boring change.
Yeah.
And it's actually going to make vehicle openings, not double vehicle, but like vehicle bot openings really strong, because like Air is really good about pushing back these, early aggressions from double ground factory plays, but now double ground factory is going to be back, which is not a bad thing, but I just don't like that the Stinger enables the role in that way. Okay, slammers. Fire rate of torpedo increased from 0.275 to 0.75. They got triple buffed.
Yay.
Yeah, buddy. Dude, I've seen these new slammers. I think it's a little too good. I think they're
Really?
a little too good. Like, I might just build like tier 2 bot factories in naval games rather than go tier 2 naval or air.
They're that good?
Like, yeah, with locusts being the pests that they are and slammers, like, and the fact that orcas no longer fire at ground, spoiler alert. I mean, at subs and underwater units.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
They're actually good. The only issue they have is that naval units work with much longer ranges, and slammers really need their vision in there. So it's not end all be all, but yeah, they feel really strong now. And I think they're a little too strong. But it's still a yay for me. Like, it's pretty fun. It's definitely going to cause some memes for sure. Mend. Health increase from 150 to 350. Yay or no?
Yay.
Yay? Okay.
Yeah.
I have nothing more to say. Just, it's safer to make them. That's all. Okay.
Yeah.
Kernels.
Performance.
This is an interesting one. Metal cost reduced from 7,000 to 6,000. Health reduced from 8 to 6,000. Build range increased from 20 to 30. And they also got some maneuverability changes in the bug fixes. So, this is a complex one. It's not just a yay or nay, is it?
Yeah, I would say yay for the first change.
Okay.
Nay for the second one.
Okay.
And yay for the third one.
Yeah.
I don't think they needed a health nerf to compensate for the cost reduction.
I think that it's fine. I would have just gone with a metal cost of 500 reduction and kept the health the same. But if they're going to go from 7,000 to 6,000, I think a health reduction is fine, but I think this is a little too much. I would have probably done something a little more conservative. This is kind of a big change.
It's still going to be outperformed by most tier 2 units in the battlefield, even if their health stayed the same, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I just use them as like frontline fabricators so that I can build tier 2 extractors a little more safely, and so that like 10 docks don't come and kill my super expensive 2,000 fabricator. But yeah, I mean, the cost always makes them a little easier to get. Like, you're just building them. Like, when you're building a kernel, you're not building other tier 2 units. That's kind of the issue.
Yeah.
But this doesn't get in the way as much. But the health reduction, yeah, I don't know. 6,000 sounds like a lot, but when you realize that 3 levelers can go eat through that in 2 seconds.
Yeah, now they have less health per metal than they did before.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about. Like, they're even killable.
It's literally 1 metal for 1 health point now.
Yeah, like, now it's, they're even more killable than they used to be.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about this change.
Alright.
Maybe if you give it, like, a combat range buff, you could justify that, but I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't see them being built very much in competitive play.
Yeah.
Unless tier 1 spam is just the shit.
Dude, okay, so I'm going to skip over Hummingbird real quick and go right to Icarus. Target priority change. Faber air defense immobile is now targeted, so anti-air stuff. Yay or nay on that one?
I think it's a change that was needed when the anti-air finally got priority.
Yeah.
Look at them. Like if you're gonna have one target the other, you need to do the same, vice versa.
Dude, I will say though, it's brought up a new bug that I just tested. When you do an attack move with Icarus, they just run straight over the enemy army now. Like they don't sit at maximum range and attack. They just go fly right over to the... It's like doing a move command. Like it doesn't even matter that you do attack move anymore. It's a weird new thing that they changed, and I have no idea what they did with it. But it's so weird. I am a stuck out hard nay with this change though. I think Icarus should have never had priorities at all, both against ground and against them. I think you should be able to click Icarus and vice versa. It's whoever's the skill player that wins. Like, this is just the game playing for you, in my opinion. It's not even that hard clicking Icarus. It's not even that hard clicking ground. And the person that does it, they feel like a scarier, stronger player, and this just removes that aspect.
Yeah.
Alright, well...
It's kind of iffy.
Yeah, like... I mean, if priority is going to be there, then sure, we'll have it there. And there's like a weird new interaction. I don't think it's intended, but it's there now. But like, yeah, priorities. I guess I'm like, yay, but I'm going to be hard stuck, nay. Like, there should be other changes to it. Okay, so anyway, what am I doing?
Oh, Marshal's a developer now. He's actually official.
Wait, Marshal's a developer?
Yeah, the Steam notes are about Marshal, and it says developer in the.
Ooh.
Go Marshal!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well deserved.
Moderator? Yeah.
Now we
can yell at him even more now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets paid to do it, so we can criticize him. Alright, so let's wrap... I'm going to wrap both of these changes because they're pretty similar to each other. Both the Hummingbird and Pheonix change of health reduced from 150 to 120, and Pheonix health reduced from 300 to 240. Yay or nay?
I'd say yay. Not the changes I thought of, but okay. I think they're fine. It does reduce the snowballiness of air. The only problem I have with it is like it relies on players to just like screw up massively in order to pay off. And I guess it's hard to not fly over AA as an air player.
Yo, I have a question. Are there any air players in this game that go dominant air?
Give me a map that's like 1,000 to 1,300.
Do we have any of those maps? Marshall tried 1,000 radius map once, and it just was a lag fest.
No.
There's no freaking air players in this game. What the heck? This is just a straight nerf to airplay. And it's already bad. And the thing is, it rewards good players who babysit their air, like, and bad players, like, they're not going to even get a chance. They just lose all their fighters. And the thing is, when you're ahead, yeah, you're ahead in fighters, but at that point, you're building bombers and other, like, anti-ground units in order to really leverage that you have your air. This isn't changing those. This is just changing the fighters who aren't even prioritized until after all those are dead. Like,
yeah.
Like them worrying about like fighters versus fighters where the enemy is trying to build up a good force of fighters to, you know, take on yours. Like, it doesn't change that interaction. I will say as well, the Pheonix change is bizarre because Pheonix one-shots Hummingbirds, but now Hummingbirds, they go from 4-shotting to 3-shotting Pheonix. So building Phoenixes doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless you're trying to kill high health targets, which I guess is okay with, but I'd increase their range while reducing their health. But like, I don't agree with the Hummingbird change at all.
I found that Pheonix is, I don't know how it is now, but Pheonix plus Hummingbird is better than Pheonix either just Hummingbirds or just Phoenixes. So yeah, I feel like it'll be a similar thing right now.
They complement each other, but I feel like Hummingbirds, they can overwhelm Pheonix forces if they don't have that fat or anything. But even with that fat, it's just it's a straight up nerf between Hummingbirds and Phoenixes now.
Yeah.
But I guess if Phoenixes are going to be high priority, like kill other high health targets like Zeus's, I don't know, or be interplanetary fighters, it's cool. But
yeah.
I don't agree with the Hummingbird change at all. And
What I
I'm
would like to
very
see is
tepid about that.
maybe projectile speed nerf, but lifetime increase.
Yeah, so it just
So
flies
it
in the air like
rewards good micro. So if one player is just sitting there AFK and the other player is microing heavily, and I've seen good players do this a lot.
Isn't this a Kiwi change? I think Kiwi posed it.
Yeah, Kiwi thought of that. I don't know if it was before or after I thought of it, but I saw him. I'm like, yeah, I've been thinking the same thing.
He made a huge post. Like, he had, like, GIFs and everything of it, like, of showcasing it. I'd have to find that post. It's really old, but, yeah. It sounds like a Kiwi change. I'm not for it. In fact, in my version of the game, like, I buffed the Phoenix, like, range and projectile speed, so it hits pretty hard and fast. But I also tried to make them cleave, but that didn't work out, so sad pan. Okay, on to the next one. Kestrals. Health reduced from 300 to 250, range 80 to 60, damage increase 15 to 20. The Kestral will be able to slightly do more damage while putting itself in more danger to do so. Yay or nay?
I'm not sure how this will play out. I haven't seen this change in action too much. I'm nervous about how well it will actually do. It'll definitely do worse against any anti-air. Yeah. It means you're gonna have to build more horseflies now, and more other air units besides Kestrals, which I guess could be a good thing.
Yeah.
But
so I went from like nay to yay to nay again on Kestrals. So my gut reaction was like, this is gonna increase snowballing and stuff like that, and then I'm like, wait, no, you get to commit more. Like, you have to commit with Kestrals, take more damage. That's cool. And then I went to nay again because I actually played with the changes. The range reduction makes them feel so bad. Like, they feel so inconsistent in clearing out armies now. But when they do clear out armies, they're like so fast at doing it. That damage is insane. They just shred through everything. Like, they kill Infernos and Vanguards like instantly. Like, tier 2 high health targets, they're never really meant to really kill high health stuff that fast, but they just eat through them all. It's like super snowbally. Like, they either really work or they don't, because before you could kind of make them work like they were there, but now it's like super snowbally.
So it'll punish lack of anti-air really hard, but if there's a lot of AA, then they'll just die. Yeah,
they'll die. And the worst thing of all, they feel worse. That's my biggest issue, is they feel worse. That range reduction just, it doesn't make them feel as responsive or as interesting a unit. That's the real sad panda. Okay, here's a big one. This one I got a lot of feelings about. Hornet, health increased, metal cost doubled, fire rate doubled, range little bit increased, but range has always been a big factor in any unit ever, so it's a big deal anyway. Missile speed or velocity doubled, and speed reduced. Oh, the unit speed itself is reduced from 40 to 30, and its projectile speed is increased. Yay or nay? We're basically... Let me get my take on it.
I like the changes. I would have just made them be able to shoot in more directions, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because that way they feel better to handle, and they're more of a long-range air unit. Although I see how that could be annoying to play against at the same time.
I mean, I think their arc is like 90 degrees or like 120 now. Like, it's definitely forward-facing. They can't even fire from the side. I think I would increase it so you can fire from the side a bit. I don't even know. I kind of like the forward-facing, and I think the range increase helps with you microing against things so that you're still out of range. I just don't like the fact that This is like, you can get 2 of the same old Hornets for 1 of these new ones. That's what it is. It doesn't allow you to be as precise with your macro, where you're like, I need 3 Hornets for this specific case. Like, it's just like a Worm 2.0. Like, Worms, like, how much are they cost? They're like 3,500 off the top of my head.
They're 3,300, I think.
Yeah, they're 3,300. You're right. Like, this is just. Do you want a close range, high health anti-ground unit or a low health, long range anti-ground unit? Like, for the same price. That's kind of weird. Like, it's not all that different. I think, though, that the projectile speed makes them feel kind of better. Like, it does kind of have an impact.
I love the projectile speed.
Yeah, it does
Feels
look
so
good.
nice.
It feels good. I agree with that. I'm just not sure about doubling, you know, all of its other stats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With the cost increase, I can see the stats being doubled. That's fine, but
I think all it needed was a range and missile velocity increase, and that's it. And I don't even know about the speed reduction. Like, 30 is really slow, man. Like, what the heck is Icarus at? I don't even think Icarus is at 30. And Icarus are painful. Yeah, Icarus are at 50. Like, that's pretty freaking slow. And the worms themselves, they're at 50 as well. I mean, they're at 30 as well. This is like just a different kind of worm. So yeah, I'm kind of a nay, but there's some caveats to it that I like, but I don't know, it's just very odd. Alright, let's move on to naval. Dude, the naval changes, like, all of them are really good except for one change that I absolutely hate and one change that I don't like. There's like so many amazing changes here. So let's start off with the meh. Alright, Piranha range reduced from 120 to 105. Piranha's current relatively long range made them immune to all static defenses. And highly effective at denying shorelines.
I guess I'm leaning more towards yay on that.
Okay.
Because they were pretty impressive if you put them on shorelines. Because torpedo launchers can't kill them, so you need something to be able to kill them on the shore.
Yeah, I agree. Unlike both yay and nay, I think they should have gotten a buff somewhere else to compensate. This is just a straight nerf. Because the range reduction makes them feel less good in microing against other piranhas and against like other naval units like narwhals or orcas. Like, it's harder to dodge things with them than it was before. Like, but I do agree with them like obsoleting laser turrets and shorelines. It's just this, they needed a buff included with this nerf because they're not that good beforehand. They really were not. Now they're just less good against everything. So we're gonna not see a lot of piranha spam at all. And piranhas actually were really fun. So yeah, like, yay, but should have included something else. Should have included buff. Right. That's my view. Okay, Orca, this is the big one. Torpedo weapon removed. Gone. And I don't know about updated build bars, strategic icons. That's just kind of like a visual thing. But yeah, torpedo weapon removed. Yay or nay?
Yay.
Okay, why?
Because it makes naval, it makes your composition actually matter with naval.
Okay.
We'll get more into that as we read through the changes.
Yeah.
But this way you can't just spam only orcas. You can do it to counter the narwhals, but when they go subs, you better not be making those orcas anymore.
Yeah. Okay, for me, I think it went too far. Like, I don't think they should have removed the torpedo weapons. I think they should have reduced the damage so that subs would trade really well against them. But I don't think they should have removed it at all. Because I think it just feels weird that units don't interact with each other at all in naval. It's like piranhas and Barracudas, they just completely pass each other by. They don't even interact with each other at all. It's just like, yeah, whatever. And like, there's just so weird. It's so weird. Like, you have a big unit blob, but then it's just a matter of how much you have of one and how much they have of another. I think it should have been reduced, not removed.
Mhm.
So nay on my part. And orcas can't handle, you know, ground stuff like going into the water, like docks and all that. It makes it so locking down lakes and stuff like that is just really odd. I don't know, I find it very awkward. Narwhals, they added the torpedo back. It's been gone for 5 years, but now it's back. Actually, probably like 8 years. I don't know. Like, it was in the original game.
Like 8 years.
Yeah.
Jeez,
So,
I'm old. Okay.
It 3-shots. So the stats on it are that it 3-shots Barracudas, but the attack speed is like once every 5 seconds. Whereas Barracudas fire off every like... let me look at the stats real quick. Yeah, like Barracudas fire 1.67 times a second. So like they get off like 3 shots every 5 seconds.
So Barracudas shoot faster, right?
Yeah, they shoot faster. They get 3-shot by narwhals, but they also... Well, how much is narwhals' health? Because Barracuda damage is like 150.
They both 3-shot each other. I tested a little bit.
Oh, they 3-shot each other. So yeah, like... And the metal cost is just a little bit more for Barracuda. So Barracuda still trade really hard against narwhals, but at least narwhals get something, so yay for me. I agree with it.
I don't think they trade well against narwhals, actually. I mean, based on... I didn't do very much testing, but from what I saw, the narwhals seems to be winning out a little bit more. I mean, I only did like a few, so it's very like take it with a grain of salt. But
yeah,
I think
every 2.5 seconds. I didn't notice that.
I think narwhals actually end up winning. That I like. If that's the case, I really like that.
No, I think... Well, I've played with it a bit, and I think Barracudas actually beat them still. So it's like 7.5 seconds for a narwhal to kill a Barracuda. For a Barracuda, it's... Well, if we get 3 seconds, it's like...
I think narwhals have more range, maybe? That's what I saw, but I'm not really sure.
I think it's 150, both of them. I'm pretty sure Barracudas trade pretty well against narwhals, but
yeah, it's not like horrible.
Yeah,
they don't trade horribly at all.
So I think the torpedo is a little strong for narwhals, but there's like a lot of problems I have with the narwhals. They're just a very expensive anti-air unit, slow, and you're not going to build them anyway because I think the meta is going to devolve into Orca spam. No, not Orca spam, but Barracuda spam. Yeah, it's going to be a bunch of sub spam. And I don't think narwhals are going to stop them. They're going to get rolled. So I'm for this change. I just think that there's some other changes that narwhals needed. Like they needed a cost reduction. And just other differences to them to make them a little bit better. But yay. Like torpedoes, they finally can interact with... They can finally beat off subs. Like if you accidentally build like 10 narwhals, you're not going to get them all blown up by one Barracuda. That's the Orca's role now.
Okay.
Alright, Barracuda, remove the radar stealth, yay or nay?
Yay.
Yay.
Definitely yay.
Yep, I agree. It's so weird torpedo launchers couldn't even hit Barracudas.
That's so freaking weird.
It is so scuffed. And just, I do not like radar stealth on a tier 1 unit. Maybe if it was a scout unit, but not like a combat unit. Like... one that could actually deal damage to you. If you like snuck 10 around and they didn't see it visually, it just sucks. Alright, Barnacle, 10 to 12, yay or nay? It's the combat fab for ships.
The hell?
Yeah, that's what it's called, man. Nobody builds it.
Not the buff for it. I mean, I don't even think this will make it useful.
Improving their viability. They've gone from non-viable to non-viable, but yay. I say yay. They needed a buff.
I mean, at least they buffed them, but I still don't think they're going to be made.
Yeah. But I like it.
Maybe when the repair gets, if repair functions get fixed, so that we don't spend more metal repairing things than you do building.
Wait,
Then maybe,
really?
yeah, that's why repairs are so bad. And
I
when you
didn't
get
know
more,
it took more.
you get more metal when you reclaim stuff than when you build stuff.
I didn't
Because
know
of
that
how
repairing
everything works.
was worse than just building it.
Yeah.
That's pretty
So
jank to me.
you could, in theory, get more metal income just by reclaiming your own stuff and rebuilding it.
That is crazy.
I don't
Alright,
think it's
well,
worth it, but you could do it.
yeah. I mean, Barracudas, like, their mines actually are pretty darn good in naval, except naval maps are just so big that, like, ships can easily go around them. But when they hit, it's effective. It's just, Barracudas just don't have a place right now. But, I mean, I say yay because it's a step in the right direction. A buff for the unit, that doesn't matter. Like, it's still a buff, so. Alright, last change. One of my favorite changes in the balance patch, with a slight caveat. Stingray's tactical missile weapon. So this is their main big missile. It's not their like little. They already have anti-air, but they're adding a second weapon to their anti-air arsenal. It's their big missile. Tactical missile weapon can now target air. Targets. Wow, that's a weird sentence. Prioritizing hornets and worms. Yay or nay?
I haven't tested it, but I think that's a yay.
I think it's yay.
I'm gonna play with it right now, but I think it's a yay.
Yeah, I say yay, man. I say yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
That is fun. Like, dude,
air is gorgeous.
Look, I've been ranting about how there's no air players or anything. That's in versus ground games. In naval, air is pretty dominant.
Yeah.
But
I want to watch a worm just get murked by this.
Yeah.
Wait.
However, I disagree about the priority of hornets and worms. Sometimes you may really want to kill that orca that's coming at you, or like whatever tier 2 unit. Like, what's that Legion one that's like a hammer that like comes right at you and just hits super hard? There's like a tier 2 fast, like high health target. Like, I'm gonna be targeting that instead, but my Stingray is targeting air. I want that.
We got a problem.
What?
Stingers don't target worms.
Stingers?
The stingrays, they don't target worms. Wait, let me try it again.
Yeah, try it again, because
it just sat there. Maybe I turned off the firing on it or something?
maybe you have the wrong balance mod on? I don't know.
I don't have any balance mods.
Maybe it's just a regular client mod messing with you?
Okay, it's shot now. Why did it not shoot? Maybe it got bugged by.
Maybe it's not in range. I don't know.
It was definitely in range. The worm bombed the damn thing. Like.
Oh wow.
Okay,
now maybe it's bugged. Then yeah, it's a hard name if it's bugged.
The second time and third time it targeted them.
Wait,
okay,
so
what
was it
about
targeting them in a? Did you have a bunch of units around it and it was targeting other things? Or was it just the one worm and the one stingray?
It killed a bunch of bombers beforehand, but after that it tried to kill a worm.
Weird.
I said that word tried loosely.
I don't like the priority. I think that worms are very easy to click, as well as hornets. You just click them and it works.
Yeah.
Like,
hornets will still win, by the way, against the Stingray.
Yeah, hornets and worms do too.
Absolutely.
Worms beat them.
Worms?
3-1. Yeah. The ratio is 3-1. Actually, that doesn't technically win, but air can put all of its metal in one location. You can't do that with naval.
Yeah.
Especially such a slow unit like Stingrays.
They're virtually the same cost.
Dude, they mess up Kestrals so bad though. Like, Stingrays just annihilate Kestrel so hard.
Oh, I can imagine.
It's hilarious. Yeah, like 10 Kestrels cannot go into a Stingray. Like, you have to have like 15 or 20. Even 15, I wouldn't say can beat them.
Yeah, here it is again. Nasty. The Stingray's just not shooting the freaking worm. It's just sitting there like, come kill me.
Yeah, that's really weird.
That's really bugged.
Alright, yeah. But on the... I don't like priorities though. I just don't. When you can do it yourself, it just shows skill. And I think it's cool if someone can bait out those shots onto like scouts or regular fighter planes and bring in their Hornets and Worms. But I really like it though because Hornets used to hard counter Stingrays. Like beforehand. They actually owned Stingrays and Worms were pretty good against them. But now Stingrays can handle tier 2 air to ground units. So I like it. And it looks cool. It is just fun. I like a unit that can attack another unit in multiple ways and ruin their day. And this is one of them. Alright. Going up past Stingrays. Solar arrays. Energy production increased from 2500 to 3200. This production buff makes solar arrays better than advanced energy plants. Make it worth building. Yay or nay?
Let's say yay.
Yeah, I agree. Yay, but I think solar arrays, I don't know, when people start building them, they like get 50 of them and it just covers my screen and I hate it. They just get in my face. I think that they should be like super expensive, but like give you like 10,000 energy. They should be like the jigs, like tier 3. Like energy plants shouldn't be as good. You're harnessing the power of the sun from space. Like how cool is that? Like solar array should be just a big boy. That's how I feel about it. It's from the advanced factory as well. You don't even build them for launchers. So yeah. I mean, yay, because you can finally build them better than advanced energy plants, but they are just kind of actually annoying now that people realize. They just get in your face. Alright, and then I'm just gonna skip over Omegas for now and just go straight to jigs. Because jigs are part of the economy of Orbital. So
Okay.
jigs, they got all their resource storages removed. Energy production slashed from in half. Explosion on death changed to only damage from buildings. Alright, so first two, the resource side of it. Yay or nay?
I feel like they're a bit too mean to jigs.
A little too mean to jigs?
I feel like they're a little too mean.
And then explosion on death changed to only damage structures. Yay or nay? Explosion.
That I'm fine with. Like, I'm fine of one of those things. Preferably that one rather than every other nerf they got, because they just got obliterated. I don't think anybody's going gas anymore. Like, after they own every other planet, then they're like, hey, should I go gas? I don't know. Maybe. I'll put like one Fabber there. If it works out, shit, cool. If it doesn't, I won't lose sleep over it. But I don't think that.
So they just got nerfed in too many ways at once. They went
Just
from
got-
Giga
nuked
Chad
them.
to Swamp.
Yeah, they just went.
They went from A tier to like F tier.
Yeah, that.
Okay,
was-
yeah, I hear you on that. I agree with the changes though. I like the explosion on death only affecting jigs. I think that's good.
I like that.
I think
That's
they should
fine.
remove energy production completely, but I don't think they should have removed metal storage. I'm okay with them removing energy completely. Give that to the solar array. Give solar array storage. Make that the tier 3 energy producer. But jigs, they have limited space. Make them only metal. And then you can nerf their price a little bit for all the other nerfs we did to them. Like, give them a little price reduction, yeah. Because they're easy to kill now. But like, yeah, this is a little too much in my opinion. We swerved from one direction to the other, but yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I mean, jigs are jigs, and they still give you a lot of metal, and the energy is still there. I don't like that the energy is still there. I think it does a little too much, because the storage doesn't... I mean, it's kind of a nice caveat, but it doesn't really matter compared to the fact that, like, jigs do everything for you.
Yeah, my changes that I had in mind were like, remove energy production, maybe increase metal production, just because their metal production,
Well,
they
it
just
is
would not be
3.
worth. Yeah, tier 2 metal and tier 1 metal are still better for the metal though.
Metal for
Like,
metal.
by a considerable amount, yeah.
Yeah, but like you can spam them though. Well, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
True. Because of that cost, like, or maybe like reducing the cost of something
Yeah,
to
a
get
little
them up.
bit. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird change, and I think that it could have just been done differently. It's probably what.
Yeah, this is just
I'm not
murder at
against
this
it. It's
point.
just a lot of nerfs, man.
This is
they,
just
they they got
murder.
slapped. Holy crap!
Yeah,
All right.
like eggs.
So Omegas, Omega
Oh,
lulls, I should say.
mega lols.
Side cannons can now target everything on the ground. Their damage has been slashed in half, but their side cannons have been doubled in fire rate, and their pitch range has been made to make it down. So let me just show you, let me just tell you how it works a little bit. So against Orbital, did you know that like Omegas have 4 guns on them, and each like little
Yes.
turret has, so they have 8 projectiles that they fire at once, yeah?
Yeah.
And that like 2 of the guns can only attack 1 target at a time, like on a side. Whereas the other 2 guns, they have to shoot at a different direction. So an Omega could never use all 4 of its guns against Orbital. And that's still the case, which is good. Against ground, though, they can use all 4 guns. And they shred through things, holy crap. Yay or nay?
Yay for everything. The Omega.
Yay.
I
Yay.
love the Omegas. I think they kill Avengers like effectively now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they
I think
shred
they-
through them because they still one-shot them. Like the 2 X30, like Avengers are only like a 50 health, man. They're really
Yeah.
like Avengers are like weird orbital paper planes. They're like our current spacecraft actually. They're super fragile in a way, but yeah, like holy crap. What a change. And like against ground, like I think I would have still liked to retain where like if an Omega was in the middle of something, it could fire all 4 of its guns, whereas if it was on the edge, it could only use like 2 of its guns or 3 of its guns. I think I would have decreased the pitch range from like 60 to like 120, you know? And not 180 because it uses all 4 of its guns no matter what. And that's a little crazy to me, but overall I think this change is crazy. I think it's good. And finally Omegas can counter Avengers and we can have more than just 1 unit spam all freaking day. But you'll never get to Omegas anyway because the game just over by then. We won't let that little detail
Not
temper our love
1v1s
for this
anyway.
change. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
this change is
1v1s.
good.
In bigger games, though, Omegas are going to be something to reckon with.
Yep. They're already kind of spammed in big
Yeah,
games though, aren't they?
They're punished like really hard.
Yeah. All right. On to Titan Valley. Atlas health increased from 40 to 60k. Yay or nay?
Yay.
Yay. Yeah.
I like it.
I still think that Atlas needs a revamp, but I think 60k, like, with what we have now, this is good. I just still think that they're not going to be used at high levels because players know how to kite them. And at low levels, they're going to crush through everything. Like, you give them 10 seconds and they completely wipe out your base completely. I feel like they need to be a frontliner where they can tank a lot of damage, but dish out, like, moderate amount of damage. They're like an assault bot with medium range attacks. And then their big slammer thing shouldn't be so often. Like, it should be kind of tactically used, but that's just me, and that's like a full-on rework. But what we have now is a yay. At Ares, health reduced from 80k to 50k, and the AoE stomp has been removed. Yay or nay?
I'd say yay. I just like the fact that they're not OP anymore in bigger games. Their boombots absolutely shred Ares Titans. Like it's a joke.
Yeah,
It's
and
such a
Infernos, Vanguards can actually get on. Short range units can actually kill him now. Yay!
Yeah, you can Pelican like 1 Vanguard next to an Ares. Actually, I'm gonna test that. Let's see. If
You
it
can
works.
test see if it. No, Vanguard's still only 1,000 DPS, so Ares will shoot that, but it feels so much better. The one caveat though, I do kind of wish they didn't remove the AoE stomp completely. I wish it just affected buildings, because I think it's kind of funny. If you allow an Ares to get into your base, you kind of deserve to get all your stuff crushed. Like, it never happens, but if it does, it's kind of a fun moment. And I'm going to miss that. Like, that's the one negative to it, but I agree with the other changes.
Yeah.
Like,
I
Ares
just can't wait
needed.
to Boombot snipe people's Ares Titans.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's gonna be so funny.
Yeah.
I got like 100 of them or so.
Yeah.
They're just dead.
Alright, Zeus. Health increase 10 to 12k. Fire rate increase 5 to 5.5. I mean, 0.5 to 0.55. And energy draw increase from 5,000 to 5,500. So basically a 10% buff, just more energy intensive, but 10% buff overall. Well, 12%, but and 15%. Yay or nay?
Huh. I'm not sure how that will play out. I would say yay because it's a Zeus buffing.
And they've been weak before.
They did need that. Yeah, they did need that a lot.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I mean, I'm full yay on this. I think it's a pretty conservative change. It's like only 10 to 15%. Like other places have been like 20, 25, like the jig. That was too much, but this, I think it's just right because the Zeus could actually get out of hand if you buff it way too much. But I think this is the right change, you know. It's just enough to make you like kind of question. But I do find their little note, multiple consecutive buffs to anti-air have made Zeus much weaker. These changes compensate that. I find that saying strange because they're actually pretty good against anti-air stuff.
They were weak before those changes.
Yeah, like they like Zeus, like when you had 20 anti-air, like the Zeus could, you know, have a problem against it, but Zeus never really had a problem against it. It's other air that Zeus dies to. Like Zeus dies so quickly to other air units. They like get shredded instantly. Like Pheonix is hit hard.
Like I know the turrets kind of killed the Zeus, but yeah, it was really the other air that killed the Zeus.
Yeah, I find it weird that ground to air was the reason for it. When I'm like, if you get spinners bunched up together, like 20 of them, they might.
Yeah, nobody countered Zeus's with regular anti-air, ground anti-air.
Yeah, it could slow it down and stuff, but it was other air that just destroyed it. And I mean, storms are like bad against Zeus's when you think about it. All right, economy stuff. So our first spicy one here, advanced metal extractor, health reduced from 5,000 to 3,000, metal production increased from 16 to 18, metal cost reduced from 2,000 to 1,800. Yay or nay?
For the advanced metal extractor,
yeah,
yay.
Yay. Okay.
Definitely.
Hmm.
They need to be buildable.
I am like mostly yay. I am just weirded out by the health reduction because 1,800 is quite an investment still. And do you know how much the tier 1 metal extractor, like how much health that one has?
Like, it's like what, 1,000.
Yeah, it's 1,000. And tier 1 metal extractors are pretty easy to kill.
And tier 2 ones have 3,000, and they cost like
they're
more light years ahead.
Yeah,
they're light years ahead in terms of cost.
Yeah, the difference was like 12 times the cost of a tier 1, and now it's about 10.5. So a little bit better in ratio. I think honestly, I think the metal production increase is a little too much. I think it actually should be 17, not 18. When you combine that with the metal cost reduction and the metal production increase, I think that's a bit of a strong change, but I don't like the health. I don't know, I find it weird. I would have kept the health the same and made the metal production increase from 16 to 17. But overall I say yay. I'm just like, I have a slightly different approach to it. What about you?
Yeah.
Okay.
The health nerf, I'm not sure about, but everything else, yay.
It's all cool. It's just slightly different. I'm just not sure about health, but yeah. Energy storage. Yeah. Storage amount increased from 100 to 300,000.
I didn't notice that one.
You didn't notice that? Well, nobody noticed energy storage for 10 years. We're finally gonna build energy storages. Yay! I actually still think they're not viable. I think 450 metal is 450 worthless.
Yeah, I think they're a lot better now, and they might be worth building, but uh,
Like maybe a tier 2
they're not
tank, but
amazing. They're not
like,
amazing right now at all.
yeah. Like B13 told me it's like really helpful. It saves you like 8 energy, building like 8 energy plants to go into tier 2, but I'm like, nah, man. I'm not feeling it. But it you can finally build one of them and not be like, wow, this is the most pointless investment I've ever had. I just think that it needs a metal cost reduction so that you have more opportunities to build it early on, rather than it be a late game kind of decision.
So then I will spam those as fabric walls instead of the metal
I'd
sword.
probably include a metal, like a health decrease, but that does sound kind of funny. Like, we need more kinds of walls. Come on, like, walls need a new iteration to them.
Come on, tier 2
The energy
walls.
storage. Yeah, tier 2 walls. You just made keep me like cry in a corner, like with tears of joy. Mention of tier 2 walls.
I did, yeah.
And we already talked about jigs. We just skipped over, so yeah.
I made Nick cringe in horror. That chained also.
All right, defenses. So single laser tower. This one's interesting. So health increased from 350 to 400. Yaw rate increased from 60 to 90. I think that means it rotates its turret around faster. I think that's what it means. And then damage increased from 40 to 60. So it one-shots strikers now as well as dogs. Is kind of the idea behind it. Yay or nay?
Wait, for which one again?
The single laser, the 0.5.
Yeah. Yes.
So big yay from you.
Big yay. They were ass. They were total ass, and now they got buffed.
Nice. I still think they're bad.
I think they're good against. They're good for early game defenses strictly.
They're too expensive for the early game. They're still, they cost more than a metal extractor. It's rather you should just defend your metal extractor with units rather than this. And it can get overwhelmed by ants and like other like tier 1.1 or tier 1.15 units.
Or drifters, like one drifter versus one of these.
Yeah, drifters still outrange these suckers.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I would make them even cheaper and make them two-shot strikers and docks, but I'd make them way cheaper. That's my... Look, I'm going to just say yay because they've been useless for so long, but I would have done it very differently. I would have made them cheaper.
I think that they're better at killing bots now. Let me see if they do they one-hit sparks now?
No, they don't one-shot sparks at all.
Oh. Because I remember they two-hit. Yeah, that's right. The double laser turret two-hit them. These sparks are so tanky. How much?
Sparks is 130 health. Yeah, these still 3-shot him. Wait, they go from 4-shotting to 3-shotting, so not too bad. Yeah, I don't know. Single laser tower. I think the yaw rate is actually really nice because if you misplace your turret and it takes forever to rotate around, you know how it is. And this just helps with that. In fact, like, dogs and strikers actually do dance around turrets pretty well if a player knows what they're doing. And that kind of reduces the chance of that. Although, actually, that kind of makes me think, I'm like, that doesn't make your turret meaningful at all. Like, how you place it. And it reduces the chances of good players getting around it by outplaying you. Outplaying the turret. So, yeah, I'm not sure about that. But overall, this is a yay for me. Like, they needed a change. They needed a buff. Like, it's been double laser turret since forever. And speaking on the opposite end, the advanced laser tower, so the tier 3 turret, as I like to say, because it's got triple laser, triple barrel turret. Hitbox adjusted, which means that units won't hit a turret over walls. Like, levelers won't hit them like above walls. Range increased from 120 to 130, so they match levelers now. And rate of fire increased from 3 to 5. Yay or nay?
Yay. Definitely yay.
That's a yeah, buddy. Dude, I'm like, okay, this is a buff, but they're still useless, man.
I don't know if they're still useless.
They're still useless, man. like they get owned by tier 2 units. Like even levelers still just shred through them. Like 3 levelers just go through one of these. And
how much do they cost again? Like
they cost like
many times more than a double laser turret.
Yeah, they cost like a ridiculous amount. Like they cost 900 metal compared to like the 350 of the double.
Increase rate of fire to 10, and then we'll talk.
Yeah, rate of fire increase is kind of fun, but yeah, I'm
what
like,
what a
I'm
freaking
like,
minigun just.
Okay, I'm all for buffs. I'm like, yay, but they're still kind of useless. But it's still a yay buff. I'm just like, look, increase their range from 130 to 140 so they counter Grenadiers, man. Then we'll talk, and then increase their health as well, like so they don't fall over. They're a tier 2 wall that hits back.
For the metal that they cost, they're just kind of underwhelming still.
Yeah, 900 metal.
But it is really fun to see them shoot so fast.
Well, yeah, and there's one other thing that advanced laser turrets struggle with. It's hard getting them up in a strategic location. Like, you have to bring a tier 2 fab really close to the front lines to get them to work. Catapults and hull guns, you can do them more into your base. Like, that's safe. But getting a tier 2 fabricator so close to the front line to where you really need those towers, that's kind of a nerf in a way. Like, people don't really realize. It's hard to get them up. So, yeah, yay, but should have done more. Give them more.
Yeah, give me more health.
Okay.
They're 900 metal.
Yeah.
They do a considerable amount more damage than double laser turrets actually for the for the metal spent. Actually way more damage. They're like light years ahead of them. Damn.
Yeah.
But they'll get outranged by like any tier 2 unit, so that's the problem.
Okay, so lobs, man. Fire rate increased from 3 to 4.5. Metal cost per shot reduced from 60 to 50. So that is 5 metal more than just a regular dox. Regular dox costs 45. This is going to cost 50. Ammo capacity reduced from 500 to 445. Ammo demand reduced from 15 to 13.
So what do those stats mean? Because I don't know what that means at all.
Oh, sneeze. Holy crap.
It sneeze.
So the ammo capacity that's actually really weird math because it's slightly less than, it's like the same amount, but excluding one. Let me try and do the math.
What does that actually influence on the lob though? Like, that's what I don't get it.
It just they fire the same amount. Like, no, they fire less units, but at the same amount of time, but it's cheaper overall.
I see. So, yeah, because they still fire...
And it's a little more consistent as well, where, like... Wait, their ammo capacity... No, it's the same. So, like, they hold the same clip. It's just...
Okay, so it was to make sure they hold the same clip. I see. Yeah,
they hold the same clip. It's just easier to fire the clip. It just takes... And it's the same amount of time to get to that clip. There's just not as much in that clip. Like, it's just cheaper overall and less units, but yeah.
Okay, so what about ammo demand?
Ammo demand just means...
Is that the metal spending?
That's just, yeah, how much it spends per second. So it just spends less. So it takes more time to get to like a 500 clip, but since it's 445... I don't even understand 445. It should be like 450, I think. Well, let me do the calculations on that, because it's like... Because, like, yeah, 500 doesn't even go into 60 evenly. That gets to, like, 8 docks, 8.3 docks. But, like, 445? Divided by 13... divided by 50, that's like 8.9. I'm really confused about that. That's kind of strange. I don't know. Like, this is the weirdest change. Like, I'm not exactly sure what it's doing. Alright, yay or nay, though? You don't even understand it, but yay or nay?
I get it now. I would say yay. I like that lobs are gonna be a tad more viable. This, I mean, plus the docks spots, I guess they'll be pretty viable because of how the docks are gonna be right now.
Yeah. Okay, so this is gonna probably be my most petty, selfish nay of all. Like, this is better for the lobs, but I hate the lobs. They should just stay in absolute trash. Like, lobs are useless unit. They're not even a defensive turret like some people think. They're just a tier 0.5 dogs factory. They're not a unit cannon. They don't really fire over anything. They're not cool. It's just a bot factory, a really crappy, dumb bot factory. So no, no buffs for this. I don't want to see this ever until they actually changed something with this freaking turret.
Yeah. It is kind of weird. I've always thought how it's a turret, but
Yeah.
nobody actually uses it that way.
Yeah. All right.
I think it's not intuitive.
Last one. The unit cannon. We end on a high note, okay? Added storm to buildable units. Can now be built on water and metal cost reduced from 10 to 6,800. I'm going to start you off with added storm to buildable units. Yay or nay? That specific aspect.
Yay.
Yeah, buddy. I do not like invading planets with bunch of air units where I have to build like 6 spinners and 6 slammers. Like all my unit clip is devoted to just anti-air. So I'm like hard for that. In fact, they should add more. They should in fact add like infernos and like drifters and stuff to it. But yeah, that's a hard yay for me. And then the metal cost reduced from 10,000 to 6,800. Yay or nay?
Infernos. Oh my god. I would love to see that, to be honest. But
Well, people already drop slammers on enemy commanders and stuff, so yeah, that's possible.
Infernos would be absolutely nightmarish to deal with.
So wait, a unit cannon building a tier 1 unit unironically? That'd be a thing.
That'd be nightmarish.
You never use a unit cannon to build like a Dox or a Skitter, like a little ground scout.
Yeah, like I don't even know why those are there.
I don't even know either.
There's no reason why they should be there.
But yeah, so
it's like they're just bad.
Yeah,
they're
so the cost
really,
reduction,
really
yay or nay?
Definitely yay.
Okay, interesting. I think it's a little too much, but I'm gonna say yay. I'm gonna be like, screw it. Let's see unit cannons, man. Let's go for it. I think it's a little too much, actually. I think it's a little, like, that's a little too good. I would have been like more conservative, like 7,800 to start off with, but shoot, what the heck? 10,000 was insane. It's way too expensive. That's more than 3 tier 2 factories for you just to be able to get your units in a different spot when they spawn. Like, they were not good.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
for
and
sure.
then can be built on water. That's just a quality of life change in my view. That's not, a yay or nay. It's just quality of life. Everybody likes quality of life. Makes you build on shorelines and stuff like that. That's just cool. But yeah, unit cannons, buddy. So how do you think the meta is going to be now? Like overall? Like what's your tier 1 outlook? What's like going into tier 2? What's like late stage? What do you think is going to happen?
I think that boombots are going to be seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't talk about this, but there was a bug fix with
oh, I guess
guard radius.
Yeah, we could go over bug
over the Ant Inferno Boom Drifter Leveler. So they're patrolling and attack moving were fixed now, and that is awesome because that means you can attack move with booms and they just shred anything that shoots too slowly.
Yeah, dude, boombots. And do you know why boombots are going to be a thing? Because I think that there's no more point in building Sparks or Grenadiers. So you have all these bot factories. What are you going to do with them? Build docks to pad out your army? Nah, we're building boombots, man. We're going big.
I don't know. I think because they can just go Strikers or docks and counter you like really hard.
Yeah.
I think it'll be I think this meta will be very dynamic.
Okay.
That's what I'm hoping for. A very dynamic meta.
Yeah. Me personally, I think that you get one bot factory, one air factory, and then you just spam ants like nuts. Get like 6 or 7 vehicle factories, Proxium and stuff like that. You get your initial strikers out just to get you on the field, and then you just spam ants. I think ants obsolete everything else with the drifter changes, like the range reduction and no longer being able to two-shot ants, as well as Grenadiers like doing nothing now. I think ants are going to be a real problem, like for everybody. And then you quickly get into tier 2.
Drifter Inferno could theoretically counter ants, I think. Or maybe Drifter with something else to tank.
Maybe.
I think it could counter them.
It's
in theory.
I mean, you get Inferno ants, and kiting with the Drifters isn't the easiest thing because they're turrets. They kind of bug out, you know.
Yeah, the Drifter player needs to be real defensive because
and the range decrease makes it really hard because that's only a 10 difference in range between ants, which are 100, and Drifters, which are now 110. Like, it's not a big difference anymore.
I think having a couple Drifters in the army might be good.
Yeah, I thought so too, actually. Like, you have a mix of ants and Drifters.
You can start the trades. You get to pick the fights when you have the range.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Having a few of them might be pretty useful, actually.
Yeah.
Ants, I'm so happy to see ants back.
Dude, you're gonna see nothing but ants, especially in team games.
I don't care if I'm sick of it in like 10 days.
Yeah, you're gonna be sick of it in 10 days, dude. It's like, I played it on my balance patch, and like I told people, yeah, ants were like this, and then people started spamming only ants, and they were like, dude, what's wrong with you? This is like only ant meta. This is really fun. I'm like, dude, it's gonna be even worse in the main game. I'm telling you, ant spam is the only thing that's gonna happen in team games, and in 1v1s, I'm really feeling that it's just some docks, some strikers, and then you get into ants, and then you go into tier 2. Now, tier 2 timings, they're back. I'm gonna miss the tier 1 spam personally because I actually liked it, unlike most people. I just didn't like that it was only Drifters and Grenadiers all the time, but I did like having a lot of tier 1 for a bit. Like, I liked having big armies, but you're gonna get right into tier 2. You're gonna get into a lot of slammers and stuff like that. And yeah, that's how I feel. And I don't like how naval where orcas do not interact with barracudas at all. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking the meta is gonna be. It's gonna be a lot of ant spam. I think it's gonna be boring because ants are the most boring unit in the game. Are you kidding me? There's like, you either hit them or you don't. There's no microing around. There's no like vision play, anything like that. They just do or don't. So I'm mad, but I'm like the only person that's salty in this world. Every other team is good.
I think I don't think it'll be just ant meta. I think it'll depends on what's happening in the field. I thought that tier 2 would get a price reduction, like the factories. I was looking forward to that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because that would be nice to see. I mean, I think tier 2 will still be more viable now.
Yeah.
Now that Drifters are no longer.
Yeah, and I don't say ant spam like it's only ant meta, because a lot of people say, oh, it's only Drifter meta, even though we kind of know there's a little bit more to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of ants this season, and I just don't like ants as much as I do Drifters. So.
Yeah.
But hey, at least we get tier 2 stuff. That's kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. I think that tier 2, they need factory reductions. There's actually a lot of changes here that I didn't see, so, that were being tested. Like, you remember the commander move speed increase?
Yeah, I was looking for that. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I want it.
Yeah, it wasn't there, but...
I want it now.
Alright, well, I'm going to stop the stream now, so... Yep. Bye-bye.
Alright, bye-bye.
That was some React Andy stuff. Really good.